Hi, it's Amanda. Welcome to this update to my Pan That Palette 2024. This year I'm doing my best to pan 3 palettes. The first one is the fun size palette theme, and I'm trying to use up this Boots Easy on the Eye palette. And the first shade we're looking at here is Twilight Blue. I have used this one a little bit. It doesn't really show up a great deal. We've got a little bit of a mini dip going on in this one. The next shade across is Cocoa Brown, and I had a small pan in this one last time. I've continued to use it, and now that pan is definitely getting bigger. I really don't know how many of these I'm going to manage to finish by the end of this year though. Next along we have Smoky Marble. I had not used this much before. In the last couple of months I've made an effort to use it a bit more, and we've got a definite change in it with a decent dip going in this one now. And next along is Wild Khaki. I also hadn't used this one very much up until the last couple of months, and this is what it looks like now. Again, we've got a decent dip going on this one. I'm hoping I might be able to hit pan on these 2 shades before the end of the year. Next across we have Cool Aluminium, and I have used that one a little bit. It's not my favourite shade, but we have got a tiny bit of visible progress in it. Here is what it looks like now. And the last one on the top is Illuminated Bronze. I really don't like this one very much, and I don't think I've used it since the last update, but just in case it's different, this is where we're at now. And then on the bottom row we've got Onyx Black. I do tend to use this one in the outer corners of my eye, and I have got a tiny bit of visible progress I think on this, but it does take a little while for this one to show changes. And next across we have Slate Grey, and again I had a small pan in this one last time. I have used this one a reasonable amount in the last couple of months, and you can see that that pan is now substantially bigger. And next across we've got Cloudy Lilac, and this is what it looked like last time. And I've used it a little bit, but it doesn't really show very much. Warm Ivory is one that I have been using consistently. This is what it looked like at the last update, and here's what it looked like now. You can see a definite difference in this one. And next across we have Pink Flush. This is what it looked like at the last update. I had been using this one a lot. I've continued to use it, but I tried to push myself to use the silver a little bit more. But still we've got some really good progress on this one. It's the only one I think I might genuinely finish by the end of the year. So here are the whole palette updates for all the months so far, and you can see the progress that I've been making. So I'm also doing the Better Together, and this is choosing a palette that complements your main Pan That palette. So I chose this Milani palette, and it is called Must Have Naturals. And the first one was looking pretty sorry for itself at the last update, but I did post a video of me repressing this one and it came out pretty well, and so far it stood up to use. Unfortunately now of course it's not very easy to see what I've used, but I've continued to use this since the last time. And then this is what the next one, Contour, looked like at the last update. I've also been using this one, and you can now see a definite difference in that, with a little bit of a dip going on in the middle. And next along we have Lid. I'm showing you the footage from May because I hadn't used it at all at the last update, but I have used this one in the last couple of months, and I think you can see there's a little bit of a change in this one as well. Not the best eyeshadow, despite it looking quite dark and shiny, it's not got very good payoff on the eye. Next across is Crease, and I had been using this one in my eyebrows. Used it less that way recently, and I can't really see much of a change even though I've used it a little bit in the last couple of months. Then we've got Specialty, and this one already had a reasonable size pan in it last time. I've used it a little bit, and that pan has expanded a little bit as well. So this is what it looks like at the moment. And then the final one in this palette is Liner, and I think there was the tiniest little bit of a pan, either that or something sparkling out within the eyeshadow at the bottom of it last time, but now we've definitely hit pan, and that's gone quite quickly, which has surprised me for such a pigmented eyeshadow. Here we have the sort of montage of all of the progress in this palette this year. Last but not least, I'm also trying to use up as much as I can out of the remaining shades in my Pan That palette from last year. The first one is Golden Ochre, and I have used this a little bit in the last couple of months. If you want to see what it looked like, you'd need to look back at the end of last year's Pan That palette. Then we have a Love Letter. This is the one I've been using consistently, and this is what it looked like last time. I have continued to use this, but a little less than previously because I've started trying to use the other shadows in this palette as well. Got a little bit of progress, but nothing spectacular on this one. And then we've got Raw Sienna, and I've used this one a fair bit, and you can see we've got a bit of a dip there. Again, nothing to compare it to because that's the first time I've used it really this year. And then we have Burnt Orange. This one I had been using a little bit, and I've continued to use it, and I think you can just about see there's a tiny bit of progress on this one. This is what it looks like at the moment. Next across we have Red Ochre. I had been using this just a little bit, so this is what it looked like in the last update. And I have continued to use it, and you can see some decent progress on this one compared to last time. So my intention with trying to use these was to really find the ones that I don't like at all, and maybe I would franken them, but we're doing okay with these now at the moment. Next across was Venetian Red, and this is what it looks like at the moment. I've used it a little bit over the last couple of months. Same thing with Warm Taupe. I've used that one a little bit, but this one just doesn't seem to change at all. And finally, we have Realga. I only used this one I think once in the last couple of months. I find this the most difficult one to use, but I'm still trying my best with it. So here we are with that montage of all the progress with this palette this year, and as I said, if you want to see how I got to this starting point, then have a look at last year's Pan That palette videos. I'll link that playlist at the end of this video. So thanks for watching, I hope you've enjoyed this update, and I will see you again for this project in another couple of months. Bye!